Has it ever happened to you that as soon as you finish cleaning one part of the house, you turn around, and there's already something else dirty? That you feel like you're running from one side to the other, with the broom in one hand, the cloth in the other, and the feeling that you never finish. As if the house had a life of its own and got dirty on purpose when no one's looking. And the worst part is that, even if you spend hours cleaning, it feels like there's never enough time and the chores pile up mercilessly. There are days when you wake up determined to put everything in order, but by mid-morning you're already overwhelmed by the kitchen, the clothes to fold, the marks on the mirrors, the dust on the shelves, the fingerprints on the windows, and that weird smell coming from the washing machine or the microwave that you don't quite know where it's coming from. And that's when you think, if I only had at least 3 assistants, one to wash, one to clean, and one to tidy up, this would be a whole different story. But you don't have them. Or at least that's what you thought. Today I'm going to show you that you can feel like you have those 3 assistants working for you, with 10 cleaning tricks so good, so simple, and so effective, that when you see them in action you'll wonder why no one ever told you about them before. And best of all, you don't need to go out and buy expensive products or spend a single extra dime. Everything you need is in your kitchen, your bathroom, or that drawer where you keep things just in case one day you might need them. Because those everyday objects you've forgotten about can become your best allies to leave the house spotless, faster, and without wearing yourself out. So stay with me, because each trick I'm going to tell you is going to hurt. Yes, because you're going to think, how did I not think of this before? How many times did I complicate my life when I could have solved it this easily? I promise that by the end of this video you'll be looking at your house with different eyes, and instead of getting exhausted thinking about everything you have to clean, you'll feel that small satisfaction of knowing that now you have the upper hand. Because these tricks are like having a small silent army on your side. Get ready, because I promise you each one is worth gold. First trick, use vinegar and plastic wrap to clean stuck-on grease in the microwave. How many times have you opened the microwave and found those dried up splatters of soup, stuck-on food grease, and stains that look like they've been there for weeks? And the worst part, when you try to clean it with a damp sponge and a little detergent, it not only takes you forever, but you also end up with sore arms from so much scrubbing. This is where this trick comes in. It seems like it's from another world, but it works wonderfully. What you have to do is grab a microwave-safe bowl, it can be glass or thick heat-resistant plastic, and fill it halfway with water. Then add a good splash of white vinegar. You don't need to measure it, just about 1/3 of a cup is perfect. If you want, you can add a few slices of lemon to leave a fresh scent, although just the vinegar works great by itself. Place this uncovered bowl inside the microwave, set it to maximum power for 3 minutes, and as soon as it finishes, don't open the door. Leave it closed for another 2 or 3 minutes. What's happening inside is that the hot steam from the vinegar and water mixture starts loosening all that hardened grease and stuck-on stains on the walls of the microwave. That steam softens absolutely everything, even those old stains that seem impossible. After those minutes have passed, carefully open the door, take out the bowl using a cloth because it will be very hot, and by simply wiping with a clean cloth or a thick paper towel, you'll see how all the dirt slides off effortlessly. You don't have to scrub or apply any harsh product. Just like that, the microwave is spotless. And here comes the good part, so you don't have to repeat this cleaning every week. You can line the inside walls of the microwave with plastic wrap, transparent kitchen plastic. Just cut large pieces and stick them covering the walls and the inside ceiling well. No need to cover the base, because that's where the turntable is. Every time you cook something that splatters or spills, that plastic wrap will catch the dirt. When you see it's too dirty or greasy, you take it off, put on a new one, and that's it. That way, instead of spending half an hour cleaning the microwave, it'll only take you 10 seconds to change the plastic. It's one of those tricks so simple and effective that you won't understand how you never tried it before. Plus, it saves you cleaning products and keeps the microwave from smelling like reheated food. Try it and you'll want to thank me later. Second trick, use an old sock to clean blinds. Do you know which part of the house is one of the sneakiest? The blinds. No one remembers them until a ray of sunlight sneaks through the window and reveals that whole layer of dust that's built up. And when you finally decide to clean them, you realize it's a hassle. The dust flies everywhere, cloths don't pick up the dirt properly, and you end up more frustrated than when you started. That's why this trick is a gem that few people know, and it works like having a professional cleaning tool at home. All you need is an old sock, one of those you keep in the drawer out of habit even though it already has holes or is worn out. Those thin cotton or nylon socks are perfect because they fit your hand like a glove, and their fabric traps dust without releasing it into the air, which is what happens with regular dusters. Ideally, you should prepare a mixture in a container, half water and half white vinegar. If you want, you can add a few drops of lavender, lemon, or eucalyptus essential oil so that besides cleaning, it leaves a soft fragrance on the blinds. Dip your socked hand in this mixture, squeeze it so it doesn't drip, and now comes the good part. Open the blinds wide and start running your fingers, one by one, between the slats. Each finger acts like a small mop that hugs both sides of each slat. And here's the secret: since it's dampened with vinegar, the sock not only traps dust, but also disinfects and removes stuck-on grease or dirt that clings to surfaces from kitchen humidity or the environment. The impressive thing about this trick is that in a matter of seconds you'll see the difference. You run your hand, and the sock turns gray or brown, depending on how long it's been since you last cleaned. And you don't need to shake dust around or use expensive products. When you see the sock is too dirty, just rinse it in the container, wring it out, and keep going. Also, since you have control with your hand, you can reach those tricky corners where a cloth can't fit, like the corners or the edge of the blinds near the window. And if you want to go faster, you can use both hands, one sock on each hand, and clean 2 blinds at the same time. It's incredibly addictive once you see how easily years of built-up grime come off. And if the blinds are very dry or with stuck-on dust, first do a dry pass with the sock, then a second round with the vinegar and water mixture. That helps avoid making a paste of wet dust on the slats. To finish, dry with a clean sock or microfiber cloth, and I guarantee they won't just look like new, but will also have an invisible layer of vinegar that helps repel dust for longer. A homemade trick that perfectly replaces those expensive blind cleaning gadgets sold online. And the best part, you made use of that sock you were going to throw away. Because sometimes, the most effective solutions are right there, in the back of your old clothes drawer. Third, remove mattress stains with baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. Mattresses are like a black box when it comes to home cleaning. No one cleans them often, but if you knew everything that builds up there: sweat, skin residue, dust mites, dust, coffee or tea stains that spilled once, and not to mention if you have kids or pets. And the worst, when a yellowish or damp stain appears, it seems like there's nothing you can do, like you have to resign yourself or spend a fortune on specialty products. But no. This home remedy is one of those grandma's magic tricks that actually works better than many commercial stain removers. What you need is baking soda and hydrogen peroxide, the kind you can buy at any pharmacy. If you have some mild liquid detergent or a drop of dish soap, you can add it to the mix to boost its degreasing and deodorizing effect. In a bowl, mix 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, and a few drops of liquid detergent. Stir until the baking soda dissolves as much as possible. If you want more control over the application, you can pour it into a spray bottle. Now, locate the stain on the mattress. If it's fresh, blot it with absorbent paper before applying the mixture. If it's old, no problem. Generously spray the mixture on the area, or apply it with a soaked cloth. The key is letting the baking soda and peroxide work together. The hydrogen peroxide acts as a natural bleach and disinfectant, while the baking soda breaks down grease and neutralizes bad odors. When you apply it, you'll notice it starts to bubble slightly. That's normal and means it's working. Let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how deep and old the stain is. After that time, scrub with a soft bristle brush. If you don't have one, even a kitchen sponge will do, always using circular motions. You'll see the stain begin to disappear or, in the case of older ones, noticeably lighten. Then, sprinkle dry baking soda on top and let it sit for at least another hour. This helps absorb any remaining moisture and eliminate lingering bad odors. Finally, vacuum up all the dry baking soda with a handheld vacuum or a narrow nozzle vacuum. You'll notice not only that the stain has disappeared or lightened a lot, but also that the mattress now smells clean and fresh, with no trace of moisture. The best part of this trick is that it disinfects at the same time, eliminating mites and bacteria that, even if you can't see them, are always present in mattresses. And you don't need expensive products or to call a cleaning service. If you want to make it spotless, do this on a sunny day, open the windows and let it air out well after vacuuming. You can apply this method to the whole mattress, not just the stains, for a deep clean and to bring it back to life without having to spend money on products with weird names and promising labels. It's one of those tricks that once you try it, you wonder why you never did it before, and it becomes part of your routine to do every 3 to 6 months. And believe me, you'll notice the difference. Fourth, place paper towels with vinegar on faucets full of limescale. If there's one thing that's embarrassing when someone comes over, it's faucets full of limescale. That whitish or yellowish buildup that accumulates around the base, in the threads, on the tip of the spout, and that no matter how much you scrub with a sponge or wipe it 1,000 times, it seems like it's stuck on with cement. And the worst part is that if you don't tackle it, besides looking dirty, it starts to damage the metal, leaves dull marks, and makes the whole kitchen or bathroom look neglected. But here's a trick so simple and effective, that when you try it you'll want to smack your forehead for not having done it before. All you need is white vinegar and paper kitchen towels. That's it. And it works because vinegar, thanks to its acetic acid, breaks down the mineral deposits of limescale and calcium left by hard water over time. And you don't need to buy those harsh chemical products that smell awful, irritate your skin, and sometimes even scratch the faucets. First, open the blinds wide and start passing your fingers, one by one, between the slats. Each finger acts like a tiny mop, hugging both sides of each slat. And here's the secret. By dampening the sock with vinegar, it not only traps dust but also disinfects and removes greasy or sticky dirt that clings due to kitchen humidity or the environment. The impressive part of this trick is that in just a few seconds, you'll see the difference. As you run your hand along, the sock turns gray or brown, depending on how long it's been since the last cleaning, and without having to shake, scrub, or use expensive products. When you see the sock is too dirty, just rinse it in a bowl, wring it out, and keep going. Plus, since you're controlling it with your hand, you can easily reach those tricky corners where a cloth won't fit, like the edges or tight spaces near the window. And if you want to go faster, you can use both hands, one sock in each, and clean 2 blinds at once. It's incredibly addictive once you see how easily years of built-up grime come off. If the blinds are very dry or have stuck on dust, first go over them dry with the sock, then do a second round with the vinegar and water mix. That helps avoid turning the dust into a muddy paste on the slats. To finish, dry them with a clean sock or microfiber cloth, and I guarantee they'll not only look like new but also have an invisible vinegar layer that helps repel dust for longer. It's a homemade trick that perfectly replaces those expensive blind cleaning gadgets sold online. And the best part, you're using that lone sock you were about to throw away. Because sometimes the most effective solutions are sitting right there in your old clothing drawer. Third, remove mattress stains with baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. Mattresses are like a black box for home cleaning. Nobody cleans them often, but if you knew everything that accumulates there: sweat, skin cells, dust mites, dust, coffee or tea stains, not to mention if you have kids or pets. And the worst part, when those yellowish or damp stains appear, it seems like there's nothing you can do but resign yourself or spend a fortune on specialty products. But no, this homemade trick is one of those grandma-style remedies that works better than many commercial stain removers. What you need is baking soda and hydrogen peroxide, the kind sold at any pharmacy. If you have some mild liquid detergent or a drop of dish soap, you can add it to the mix to boost its degreasing and deodorizing power. In a bowl, mix 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, and a few drops of liquid detergent. Stir until the baking soda dissolves as much as possible. If you want more control over the application, you can put it in a spray bottle. Now, locate the stain on the mattress. If it's fresh, blot it with paper towels before applying the mixture. If it's old, no worries. Generously spray the mixture onto the area, or apply it with a soaked cloth. The key is letting the baking soda and peroxide work together. The hydrogen peroxide acts as a natural whitener and disinfectant, while the baking soda breaks down grease and neutralizes odors. When you apply it, you'll notice a gentle bubbling that's normal and means it's working. Let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how deep and old the stain is. After that, scrub with a soft bristle brush. If you don't have one, even a kitchen sponge will do, always using circular motions. You'll see the stain start to disappear or, in the case of older ones, noticeably lighten. Then, sprinkle dry baking soda over the area and let it sit for at least another hour. This helps absorb remaining moisture and eliminate any lingering odors. Finally, vacuum up all the dry baking soda using a handheld or narrow nozzle vacuum. You'll notice not only that the stain is gone or much lighter, but also that the mattress smells clean and fresh, with no trace of dampness. The best part of this trick is it disinfects at the same time, eliminating mites and bacteria you can't see but that are always present in mattresses. And you don't need expensive products or professional cleaning services. If you want it flawless, do it on a sunny day, open the windows, and let it air out well after vacuuming. You can use this method on the whole mattress, not just stains, for a deep clean that restores life to it without spending money on products with weird names and overpromising labels. It's one of those tricks you try once and wonder how you didn't do it before, and it'll become a routine every 3 or 6 months. Trust me, you'll notice the difference. Fourth, place paper towels soaked in vinegar on faucets with limescale. If there's one thing that makes you cringe when someone visits, it's faucets covered in limescale. That whitish or yellowish buildup around the base, the threads, the spout, and no matter how much you scrub with a sponge or wipe 1,000 times, it seems stuck like cement. And the worst part is that if you don't tackle it, it not only looks dirty but also damages the metal, leaves dull marks, and makes the whole kitchen or bathroom look neglected. But here comes a trick so simple and effective that once you try it, you'll want to facepalm for not having done it before. All you need is white vinegar and kitchen paper towels. That's it. It works because vinegar, thanks to its acetic acid, breaks down the mineral deposits left by hard water over time. No need for those strong chemical products that smell awful, irritate your skin, or even scratch your fixtures. First, take several sheets of kitchen paper towel and fold them until they have a manageable thickness. The idea is for them to be long enough to fully wrap around the base and spout of the faucet. Then, soak them thoroughly with white vinegar. Don't be stingy, they should be dripping wet. Carefully wrap the faucet parts where you see limescale buildup, the base, the threads, the spout where the water comes out, anywhere you see those white or yellowish marks. Press with your fingers to make sure the paper towel clings tightly to the metal and stays in place. Once everything's wrapped, leave it overnight. And here's the secret: while you sleep, the vinegar is dissolving the limescale. No scrubbing, no rubbing. If you want, you can cover it all with a plastic bag and secure it with a rubber band to keep everything covered and moist. The next morning, carefully remove the paper towels. You'll notice that some of the limescale has already come off just by removing the paper. Then, wipe with a soft cloth or non-abrasive sponge, and you'll see the limescale slide off in seconds like melted butter. No need for force, blades, or abrasive pads that can damage the chrome. And it not only removes the limescale, but the metal regains its original shine, that clean, bright reflection that makes any kitchen or bathroom look brand new again. To finish, dry with a clean cloth, and if you want it to stay clean longer, rub a little baby oil or olive oil on a cotton ball and wipe the faucet surface. This creates a protective layer that repels water and slows limescale buildup. This trick also works for shower heads, bathroom faucets, sink fixtures, and even the bases of kitchen faucets where grease tends to collect along with limescale. And the best part, no scrubbing, no chemical fumes, no effort, and no extra spending. Just vinegar and kitchen paper. That simple and that effective. Once you try it and see how your faucet looks, you'll want to do it every week. Because there are things that, once you know them, you just can't stop doing. But here's a trick so effective and simple it should be included in every household cleaning manual: baking soda, white vinegar, and an old toothbrush. And you don't need anything else. First, make sure to remove any large debris. Use a skewer, a popsicle stick, or even an old screwdriver to get rid of dry leaves, hair, or small pebbles. Then, generously sprinkle baking soda all over the track, especially in the corners where the most dirt tends to gather. Don't worry if there's a lot, what we want is for it to act as a natural degreaser and grime remover. Now comes the magic. Pour white vinegar over the baking soda. It's best to do this with a spoon or a spray bottle so you can control the amount. As soon as the vinegar hits the baking soda, it starts to fizz and bubble, loosening and softening all the stuck-on dirt without you having to scrub hard. Let this mixture work on its own for about 5 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, grab that old toothbrush you've kept around just in case. This will be your star tool, because its bristles fit perfectly into the narrow channels and corners of the tracks. After the mixture has done its job, gently scrub with the brush. You'll see how all that dirty paste of baking soda, dust, grime, and grease comes off effortlessly. For tight corners, you can use a toothpick or a skewer to remove the most stubborn gunk, but most of it will come loose with just a few moves of the brush. Then, wipe and remove the mess with paper towels or a damp cloth, cleaning up all that filthy mixture. You'll be amazed at how much gunk comes out of a place you probably never even looked at before. To finish, wipe with a dry cloth, and if you want to keep it clean for longer, you can rub a little furniture polish or baby oil on a cloth and run it along the tracks. This helps keep dust and grime from sticking again and makes the windows slide more smoothly. This trick also works for sliding door tracks, shower screen rails, patio doors, and even modern curtain rails. It's amazing how a little baking soda, vinegar, and an old toothbrush can leave a spot spotless in minutes, a spot that seemed impossible to clean. And when you see that before and after, it's not just your house that feels fresher and cleaner, but you feel a little more at peace too. Because sometimes, it's those small things that really change the vibe of a space. 7th trick. Clean your blender with a lemon peel and a little vinegar. Have you ever finished using your blender only for that intense smell of garlic, onion, or fish to get stuck in it, like you can never fully get rid of it? It's super unpleasant, right? No matter how much you wash it with dish soap, the smell lingers and it makes you hesitate to prepare something sweet afterwards because the flavors mix. Well, here's a foolproof trick that not only deep cleans but also gets rid of those strong odors and leaves your blender like new, ready for your next recipe. And the best part is, you probably already have everything you need at home: a lemon peel and white vinegar. The lemon adds a fresh scent, and its acidity helps disinfect and remove stains. The vinegar is a fantastic natural deodorizer and disinfectant. First, cut the peel of a lemon into small pieces. Making sure to avoid the bitter white part, just use the yellow skin, which contains the essential oils that give off that citrus scent and have cleaning properties. Then, put the peel inside the blender, add about a cup of white vinegar, and if you want to boost the cleaning power, you can add a bit of water so the mixture isn't too strong. Put the lid on the blender and turn it on, letting it blend for about a minute. As it spins, the friction along with the vinegar and lemon oils will clean all the internal walls, blades, and those tricky corners you can't quite reach by hand. After a minute, turn it off, discard the mixture, and rinse the blender with warm water a few times to remove any remaining residue. What you'll notice right away is that the blender isn't just shiny and clean, those strong, lingering odors are completely gone. No more garlic, onion, fish, or any other smell bothering you. This trick also works for food processors or mixers that pick up strong smells after making sauces or smoothies with intense ingredients. And as a bonus, you can use this same mixture to clean other kitchen utensils that tend to retain odors, like cutting boards, measuring cups, or plastic containers. It's a natural, budget-friendly method, no harsh chemicals, and super easy. Just 1 minute of blending and done. Once you try this trick, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. It saves you time, keeps unpleasant smells out of your kitchen, and leaves your utensils in top shape. Plus, it leaves that fresh, clean feeling we all want in the kitchen, with no effort and using things you already have at home. 8th trick. Use a pillowcase to clean ceiling fans. If you're one of those people who ends up with dust everywhere on your clothes, furniture, the floor, even your face every time you clean the ceiling fan, this trick is going to save your life and your patience. Cleaning those high-up blades full of built-up dust can be a real nightmare and a disaster for your home. What you need is an old pillowcase you no longer use, or one you can dedicate solely to this task. The key is that the pillowcase should be large enough to cover the entire fan blade. To do it, slip the pillowcase over one of the fan blades, like you're putting on a giant sock. Make sure the pillowcase covers all the visible dust, then hold it tightly around the edge of the blade so it fits snugly. Then, with the pillowcase in place, slide it outward from the base to the tip of the blade. As you do this, all the dust, dirt, and lint stuck to the blade stay trapped inside the pillowcase, preventing it from falling to the floor or spreading through the room. When you finish one blade, shake out the pillowcase outdoors or wash it if it's too dirty, and move on to the next one. This way, not only do you clean efficiently, but you also avoid letting dust fly around and settle on other parts of the house or yourself. This trick is brilliant because it saves you time on cleanup afterward and spares you the frustration of having to clean twice. Plus, it's super affordable, no special products needed, just a pillowcase you probably already have at home. As a bonus, you can also use the pillowcase to clean large blinds or any dusty surfaces where you want to trap the dirt without letting it scatter. It's a simple, quick, and effective method that makes you feel like you have an assistant collecting the dust for you. Because, let's be honest, cleaning ceiling fans without getting attacked by dust is practically a miracle. Try it next time you clean, and you'll want to do it this way forever. No extra mess and less effort. It's one of those household hacks that feels like magic but is right within reach. 9th trick, clean mirrors streak-free with black tea. Want a natural, inexpensive trick that leaves your mirrors spotless, without those annoying streaks or smudges you get when using regular cleaners or newspaper? Trust me, this one will surprise you. Clean your mirrors with black tea. Sounds odd, but black tea has amazing properties that leave glass sparkling clean and grease-free. First, brew an infusion with 2 or 3 black tea bags in a cup of hot water. Don't use herbal or green tea. The secret is in the black tea, thanks to its natural tannins, which help dissolve dirt and grease. Let the infusion cool completely. Don't use hot tea, as it can leave marks or streaks from the steam and moisture. Once cooled, dampen a clean microfiber cloth with the tea and wring it out so it's not too wet, just slightly damp. Now, using circular motions or an S pattern, wipe the mirror with the tea-dampened cloth. You'll notice it removes not just regular grime but also those greasy fingerprint marks, beauty product residue, and unsightly smudges. Afterward, use another clean, dry cloth to buff the mirror, and get ready to see a gleaming, streak-free surface with a natural shine no chemical glass cleaner can match. On top of that, the subtle aroma of black tea leaves a fresh, natural scent that might even inspire you to clean more often. This trick is ideal for large mirrors, bathroom mirrors, vanity mirrors, and even glass windows, especially when you want a natural clean, free of harsh chemicals, with professional-looking results. If you have kids or pets, it's a bonus that it's a natural, toxin-free method with no allergy risks. Next time you want your mirrors to sparkle and look flawless, forget the chemical sprays and give black tea a try. You'll be amazed at the result and how easy it is. It's an old, simple, and very effective secret your home will thank you for. 10th trick, drop a dishwasher tablet into the washing machine to clean it. Did you know your washing machine might be dirtier than you think? Yes, that appliance you use every day to wash clothes also builds up detergent residue, fabric softener, dirt, and even mold inside, in places you can't see but that affect its performance and leave bad odors. If you don't clean your washing machine regularly, it can become a breeding ground for bacteria and unpleasant smells that cling to your clothes, even after you've washed them. Here's a super simple yet incredibly effective trick to deep clean your washing machine with no hassle. All you need is a dishwasher tablet, the kind you use in your kitchen dishwasher, usually in tablet or compact form. Don't use laundry detergent or other products, just the dishwasher tablet. What you do is this: place a dishwasher tablet inside the empty drum of your washing machine, no clothes, no other items. Then, set your machine to run on the hottest, longest wash cycle it has, with hot water. As the cycle begins, the tablet will gradually dissolve, and combined with the hot water, it will break down and loosen all the grime, built-up detergent residue, dirt, and oils that have stuck to the walls of the drum, the door seal, the filter, and the internal pipes. When the cycle finishes, you'll be amazed when you open the washing machine and see that the inside is much cleaner, with no stuck-on residue or bad odors. The clothes you wash afterward will come out fresher and cleaner because the drum and internal parts will no longer have that embedded dirt that ruins your washes. The best part about this trick is that it's affordable, quick, and safe. You don't need to buy special washing machine cleaning products or spend a lot of time. Plus, you can do it once a month or every couple of months to keep your washing machine in top condition. An extra tip: if you want to boost the cleaning effect, open the door at the end of the cycle to let it air out and dry completely, avoiding the moisture that causes bad odors and mold. This trick is a little-known secret, but it truly makes a difference in your home cleaning routine. If you want your washing machine to work better, last longer, and for your clothes to always smell fresh and look spotless, don't skip this tip. Give it a try, and you'll see that with hardly any effort, it'll feel like you have an invisible assistant taking care of every corner of your home. Because deep, effective cleaning doesn't always require complicated products. It's about knowing how to use what you already have at hand. Now, I want you to tell me in the comments, which of these tricks blew your mind because it had never crossed your mind before? And which one are you going to try today to start transforming your home cleaning without spending an extra penny? The most amazing part is that all of these hacks are done with things you already have at home, without expensive products or complicated chemicals. And when you see the result, that feeling of having 3 assistants working for you will be real, because your home truly will shine with much less effort. Go for it, and tell me all about it.